Welcome to the Editor's Note Comics Podcast.
I think that this world, it needs men that are willing to make the hard call.
Central Maine's best comics podcast, by default.
Ain't no thing like me except me.
Here are your hosts, Zach and Jared.
I'm gonna have to come with you. No. When do we start?
Hey everybody, welcome back. Yes. That's all you have. All you have to say is yes. Yes. It's terrible. You need to work on that.
Okay. Welcome back, Space Cats.
Boo.
Don't boo me if you want me to work on it.
That was my constructive criticism.
That was not very constructive, but it was very critical.
No good. All right, what do we got going on this week? Oh, Picard. It's Picard time, baby.
Yeah!
News of the week this week in comics history, sports as they are, and your questions. We've been talking about this for a couple of weeks, but our 200th episode is fast approaching. If you want to write in a question, do that at editorsnotecomics@gmail.com. And also, just write. It'd be nice. The more the merrier.
Write us. Send us a letter.
Yeah.
Commune with us.
But I don't know. Yeah. Picard, it's a big week. We've been waiting on Picard for a long time. How does it hold up? How will it hold up?
I cannot wait to find out.
Yeah, no kidding. If I had it my way, I just would have watched all 10 episodes right in there and canceled CBS All Access, which is probably why they're doing it week to week.
Probably yes.
Because I'm just going to get rid of it again.
Well, that notwithstanding.
This is the last week. If you're getting stuff at the store, this is the last week for new releases, but there's still plenty of stuff to be sold and plenty of stuff to be sold cheap.
Everything must go. Everything must go. Everything must go.
Yeah, essentially.
Are you going to rent one of those wacky waving inflatable flailing arm tube men?
No. I'm just going to put stuff on Facebook and Twitter occasionally.
Okay.
Maybe write something on a sandwich board.
Ooh, sandwich board. I like sandwiches.
It's been out there most of the time. I just got to update what it says.
Oh, okay. There you go. Are you selling the sandwich board?
I am, yeah.
What if somebody buys the sandwich board before you're done with it?
That's fine.
Okay.
I'm selling a lot of stuff before I'm done with it.
All right, that's fair.
So I don't care. It's all going to be gone. Yeah, that's the whole thing.
It's the final countdown.
Yeah, people are started goodbye forever. And someone was I've had a few people sorry it didn't work out, failure. I'm like, it's not how I would put it, but sure.
That is exactly how you would put it. I know you. You would say that to somebody.
I'm like, it was there for 5 years.
Almost. You would say that. Was it your father who said that to you?
No.
Okay. That sounds like a Doug line.
Look, this is probably going to, turn into other things. But
yes.
But sure, the business had growth, but yeah. But we're not here to, I guess we are here partially to talk about that. But more importantly, or less importantly, probably less important, but we're doing it anyway, the news, the pop culture news. We're talking about that now. You can't nod.
Oh, I did nod. And now everyone knows I nodded. It worked.
Great, there's a theme now.
Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
It's time for the news.
Oh man, I hope you were excited for upcoming miniseries on different streaming services.
All of them.
Yeah, well, get less excited.
Oh, no.
Because a lot of stuff got the axe this week.
Ooh, the axe.
Over on Hulu, they're going to be making 5 animated series and then combining them all into a crossover event, The Offenders, instead of what Netflix did with The Defenders.
The Offenders?
Yeah, except now they've canceled 2 of the shows. Tiger and Dazzler is done. Who cares? Actually, I know Dazzler has a really big fan base, but whatever. But Kevin Smith's Howard the Duck has been canceled.
Shocking. We get to see Kev next week.
Is that next week?
It is next week, isn't it?
That's the 6th, I think.
Yeah, that'd be next week.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I don't think there's no real word on why it was canceled, but that's too bad, because I think that Howard the Duck, is probably the most interesting of the characters they had out there. They're still doing MODOK with Patton Oswalt, which is partially interesting. You see a big head with tiny feet, but I don't know. So I guess I'm not going to be going out of my way to get Hulu anytime soon.
No, probably not.
No. Also, the Obi-Wan show has been maybe delayed, maybe not. Conflicting reports.
Yeah, I had heard that there was a little bit of a script problem. Kathleen Kennedy, K-squared as I like to call her, not a fan of some of the scripting.
Star Wars got Star Wars'd again.
Uh-oh.
Because that's what happens with every project.
Didn't happen with The Mandalorian.
No.
Maybe
but the rumor was that the show is getting pushed back or potentially canceled, and then and also potentially shortened from 6 to 4 episodes. Then Ewan McGregor came out and said they're reworking the scripts a bit. I've read most of it. They're fine. But our shooting date's been pushed back a little bit, but I don't think it's going to affect the release date. And since we didn't have an official release date, we don't even know what that means necessarily.
It means that they didn't have a release date, so it can't be affected.
Yeah. But he's saying it still should be out sometime next year. They'll just shoot in January instead of August. All right.
Yeah, I mean, what else to say?
Yeah, if they have more time to make it good, great. It is concerning that like every Star Wars project goes through some like very public growing pains,
All growing pains are public.
but not stretch marks. Some of them are.
Yes, I will give you that.
I don't know. Ewan McGregor was trying to like put out a fire. He's like, no, we're still doing it. But at the initial reports were all like doom and gloom. But you never know. I mean, you got one guy who's always going to play it down, and everyone else who's going for clickbait.
Correct.
So I don't know. Probably somewhere in the middle.
We live in the age of clicky bait.
More season news about streaming shows.
Yes.
Patrick Stewart went on Whoopi Goldberg tries to maintain composure while being around Meghan McCain.
That's difficult to do.
Yeah. And he officially asked her to be on season 2 of Picard.
Yes, I saw that on The View.
Yeah.
She was very excited about that.
It's very good. She likes to come into season 2 of that show.
Yes.
Of the Star Trek show.
So you can already start to have some conjecture. Maybe she has an interaction with Hugh.
Maybe. I mean, we don't know how long he's going to be around.
I'm hoping for some Q.
Some Q and some Hugh.
Yes. Q Hugh.
It'd just be an annoying scene.
Yes.
I do like John Delancey, though.
He is hilarious.
But yeah, I'm all for it. I mean, bring back everybody. And Whoopi, I mean, never being an official cast member, she was like the most unofficial cast member they had.
Yeah, she was special guest star featuring Whoopi Goldberg.
And she was in a ton of them.
Yeah, and she was in two of the movies.
Yeah, she was in 2 of them. One of them is an exposition role, and one of them is a cameo.
I like the one where she pulls out that laser gun when they're having the fight in 10 forward and shoots it into the ceiling.
10 forward. Good times.
I wish 10 forward was a real bar.
Well, we just saw some 10 forward. We'll get there.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm all for it. Bring her back. I mean, she's such a name, and she still carries like that weight of just like Oscar winner.
Guinan.
Yeah, totally. Bring her back. I'm all for it. Bring back everyone while you're at it, though. This seems dumb and pointless, and it will never happen. Justice League Dark. It's been a comic book. It's been an animated movie. It's been a failed attempt at a movie with Guillermo del Toro for years. Now that J.J. Abrams has a deal at Warner Brothers, his production company Bad Robot is supposedly developing Justice League Dark for both TV and film. It's never going to happen.
No, it's not.
They've tried. They've tried multiple times, and it's the most they got was a direct-to-DVD animated video.
Direct-to-DVD is recent, though. When's the last time you watched something on a VHS?
The last VHS I would have watched, I couldn't tell you.
Has a VHS become the old-timey porn of our generation? Would that be like a Laserdisc or Betamax?
I don't know. I'm sure it's been a while. I mean, even like, I don't know, 2005, 2006, I mean, dual VHS DVD players weren't uncommon.
That's true, especially the ones that were integrated into a TV set.
So it's probably been like 15 years.
Yeah, probably thereabouts.
Could I tell you what my last VHS was? No.
No.
But what? I have no faith in this. I mean, J.J. Abrams is pretty good at starting stuff off, but this feels like our dark and edgy Justice League. Like, I feel like DC is starting to step away from that kind of vibe as it is anyway.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I don't think this news is anything. Here's some concerning news.
Ooh.
So in 2019, IDW lost $26 million. And
that's not good.
Yeah. They're usually in the top 4 for companies like Marvel, DC, Dark Horse, IDW is usually Image, kind of like those guys are what we're looking at. And they lost $26 million.
That's a lot of dollars.
Yeah, but like the head over at IDW is like, but we're looking forward to 2020 where we think things will turn around.
Well, they have no choice but to turn around.
Yeah, no kidding. 26 million isn't chump change.
No, I wish I could lose 26 million and be like, well, things will turn around.
Yeah, jeez.
The better days are ahead.
I don't think they have a parent company.
If they did, the parent would be like, you need to learn better money management.
Because, I mean, obviously, like Marvel and DC are owned by parent companies, and Boom is as well. Is anyone on Dark Horse? I don't think so. But yeah, I mean, 26 million, that's a huge loss. And this is one of the bigger kind of indie publishers in comics. That's not a great sign.
No, it's not.
And we'll talk about it later in our letters to the editor section, but yeah, kind of what this means for the industry is
not good.
Yeah, those kind of losses. Whatever. We'll come back around to this one because who baby? This one might interest you, Star Wars nerds.
Yes, please.
Star Wars nerds. And Darth Vader, he has another ongoing series. He usually has one. It usually goes for like 25 issues, and then he gets another one. Or that's been the trend anyway. And Darth Vader number 3, he's going to return to Naboo, and there's going to be some kind of interaction with Padme. But as like between Empire and Jedi Darth Vader.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't think they've done that before. Maybe there isn't some of the Legends comics, but in the new canon, I don't think they've really kind of touched on anything like that.
He's going to mourn his Padme.
I don't know. I bet she's going to be like a ghost or a memory or something.
Try and bring her back with manipulating the midichlorians, and it's a Padme type zombie.
Maybe. He goes to
Now we're talking.
Naboo, a really boring
Naboo.
planet. I don't like it. But at least there's no sand.
It gets everywhere. It's coarse.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how sand works.
Yep.
We've identified it.
Thank you. I'm here for you. Here all day.
And slightly interesting news. Captain Marvel will be getting a different writer in Megan McDonnell, who's working on WandaVision, and a new director. So not returning to what they came to before. Which kind of with the Doctor Strange stuff, I'm saying also probably good.
Yeah. Hopefully good.
Captain Marvel was fine.
I love the 90s references.
But the way I'm kind of qualifying this one is I have been able to watch Captain Marvel for free for a little while now, and I haven't gotten around to it. What are you doing?
I'm just reading something.
Looked like you were taking a picture, and I didn't like that
No,
one.
I'm
bit.
not. I'm zooming in on something.
Sometimes you do that for the Snapchat. You'll like just subtly take photos of people, but it's not that subtle where you're just subtly turning your camera at a 45-degree angle. Stop that. Stop snapping me.
I should.
I don't want that. Usually if there's a camera, I just start leaning back. Like how far do I have to lean to get out of frame?
You're like,
basically every time, yeah.
It's like you're leaning to have a fart. And you're like,
that's what every photo of me looks like now. Just constantly leaning to have a fart.
oh, there you go. Probably because you are 2 for 1.
I don't know. Yeah, Captain Marvel is fine, but I haven't felt the urge to go back to it. So if you want to, shoot some new life into it, go for it. But that's it. There's no more news.
Oh, short news week.
You work with what you got. You don't want to drag it out just because.
No, it's end of January. It's a hell of a time, the end of January.
But we're going to move on from news to this week in comics history.
Superhero landing coming up.
This week in comics history.
One of these I wrote down for you.
Oh, okay. So I can answer a trivia?
Oh, I guess. If you want to try this, we could try a couple of trivias with this one.
Okay.
This one won't work. In 1936, artist Sal Buscema was born. Probably best known for his work on Thor with Walt Simonson. I mean, he was a long time staple for Marvel. He's still doing stuff from time to time. But he was also in the Army Corps of Engineers, where he was doing film strips and drawing training charts as an artist.
Well, that would be suited to him.
Yeah, totally. I think it's funny how many like comics artists just ended up doing like art related things in the military.
Yeah, makes sense. They're good artists. They can draw.
Work with your strengths.
Exactly.
All right, we can do this one. In 1955, man's best friend, but from space, first appeared in Adventure Comics number 210.
Superdog.
You're so close. You just don't have the right name.
Super Pup?
No. Sounds like a Scooby-Doo character.
Oh, Astro?
It's Crypto.
Oh.
Crypto the Superdog.
I said Superdog.
He has all the powers of Superman. He can shoot lasers from his eyes. He wears a cape. He can fly. It's a pretty effective dog.
That's a very good dog.
Yeah, it's a good boy.
Good boy.
In 1971, the Comics Code Authority officially launched, with comic books policing themselves after they went to court about having smut and inappropriate material for children.
Oh, speaking of which, you sent me some today.
I did.
That's available in the shop.
I don't know what to do with it.
Sell it.
Found the old smut comics that I just put in the back because I didn't know what to do with, so I just started texting Jared pictures of them.
Andy Clapp.
Yes, from Andy Clapp.
It's as horrific as you would expect.
Sent you some real gems there.
I was not expecting it. That was unsolicited, unwanted.
That was not CCA approved, let me tell you. But yeah, it was just comics policing themselves so they wouldn't have any kind of oversight otherwise. And to be fair, as a shop owner, I still see parents pretty concerned with content around comics.
Yeah.
Which is weird because they're like, oh yeah, they watch all the movies and they watch this and that, but then they're like, but seeing it in a still form, I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean...
It is weird. There is still a definite weird stigma about comics and appropriateness, but they're like, oh yeah, the kids watch all these movies and they watch Star Wars, and I'm like, so you'll watch a movie where a little green CGI man will just jump up and decapitate 2 people at the same time, but...
A drawing of a penis. Oh, no.
Well, not that.
Oh, okay.
I more just meant regular comics.
Oh, okay.
You really took a leap there. Yes, those are not equivocal.
Well, I was just trying... I thought you were still talking about Andy Clapp.
No, I'm not talking about Andy Clapp. No, I wouldn't sell that to children. Then in 1984, we've talked about this one before. We'll see if you can get there.
You skin merchant.
A Marvel crossover event began that involved a focus test group involving children that was based solely around a toy line. Kids were asked what they thought the coolest words were, and they combined them into one thing.
The coolest words.
The coolest words. Done by focus groups. Mattel wanted to put out a toy line, so they went to Marvel and said, let's make a crossover event. So focus groups went to kids and said, hey kids, what words are cool?
G.I. and Joe.
No.
Oh. Can I get a hint?
Joe is not a cool word.
Joe Cool.
Oh, you're right. He was cool. That's why I smoke cigarettes.
Well, he was a camel too, so.
I also don't smoke cigarettes.
Neither do I.
Sidebar.
Give me a hint. I need a hint.
It involves a large conflict, a hidden conflict.
Oh, Secret War?
It is Secret War. That was pretty on the nose.
Thank you very much. A large hidden conflict.
Yeah, that's a weird origin to that. And then in 1985, this terrible cartoon started. I hate it.
Hanna-Barbera?
I mean, those mostly
Scooby-Doo?
Those are earlier than the 80s. But this is just as bad.
A bad cartoon?
Terrible, and I'm sure you loved it.
He-Man?
No, but it's that same kind of vein.
Is this from the 80s?
Yes.
Yogi Bear?
No.
No?
It was also must be earlier than the 80s.
Oh, yeah, probably. I don't know.
Thundercats.
Oh, thunder, thunder, thunder. Oh!
I hate that show. That show's no good.
I mean, I watched a whole bunch of 80s cartoon intros and sitcom intros because we're doing decades for Winter Carnival at school. And
explain. Yeah, thanks for not just saying Winter Carnival.
Yes. And we are the class I'm in charge of. Our decade is the 80s. I'm so pumped about that. By the way,
Thundercats is a piece of crap.
Whatever. You shut your dirty mouth.
And then finally, in 1988, a new Thor was well, he wasn't introduced yet as Thor, but he would take over for Thor. Eric Masterson was introduced. He would take over for Thor and later become Thunderstrike. He's the worst Thor. He has a ponytail and a jean jacket. So that's all you really need to know. Ponytail and a jean jacket.
Some Texas Kevlar there, some Texas tuxedo.
Yeah, it's terrible. But that's it for this week in comics history. So from there, we're going to move on from Black Manta to the Black Mamba. It's time for Jared Sports Reports.
He's running down the middle by the 50. He's at the 30. Bare-chested. The guy is drunk, but there he goes. Oh, and they tackle him at the 40-yard line.
It's time for another Jared Sports Report.
Too soon.
How? That is a perfect transition.
I guess so. I don't know. I'm still sad.
Yeah.
Kobe Bryant.
No, if we're still talking my transition, that was the perfect one for this.
It's probably the best one you've ever done, actually.
And you're like, too soon to talk about a thing that's going to get talked about.
Fair enough. Yeah, Kobe Bryant died.
What?
Yeah. He, his daughter, 7 other people passed away when a helicopter crashed into a hillside outside of L.A. over the weekend. Very sad. Very, very sad.
It might come as a surprise to some people, but when I was a kid, it's so weird to say, like, I grew up watching him because he's only 10 years older than me.
Yeah, well,
but I mean, I did.
Yeah.
As a kid, I was a Shaq fan, which kind of, when he joined the Celtics, I was like one of the 5 people excited about it. And B, made me a Lakers fan.
And Shaq was one of those 5 people excited about it. Geno time, baby.
I watched Shaq and Kobe for years during a good long stretch, like even before the championship years. I could just stay up late watching them in my room when I wasn't supposed to be. You'd tuck a blanket underneath the door to hide the light from the TV. I got caught once.
Well,
it didn't go over well.
I can't imagine it would have.
But I mean, I used to watch those games as a kid, and him, being a gold medalist, having this game with the second highest number of points of all time behind Wilt with 81 in 2006 against Toronto. And even the other night, TNT replayed his last game in LA where he went off for 60.
Yes.
It is strange because he's so much bigger than the sports world, but there is the other side of it where it is very sad, and I'm having some trouble reconciling my feelings around it because he doesn't exactly have a perfect past. I don't want to canonize him for just the good stuff, but I don't know. So there is that aspect that makes this whole thing
complicated,
muddy.
I would say, somebody asked me what I thought about Kobe's legacy, and I said complicated. There were so many great things he did, and there were so many great things that he was working on doing to reconcile some of that stuff.
He certainly seemed to refocus himself on his family.
Oh, he's a huge family person, plus his investment in female sports, especially
definitely.
Female basketball. As a women's basketball coach, that alone is a huge contribution. He wanted to give back to the game. Remember, he was only 45 years old. I mean, he's in 41, sorry. In the prime of his, he's only 6 years older than me.
Yeah.
He's in the prime of his life, and he was getting ready to do big things, bigger than basketball, that he was going to continue to give back to the game.
it still is.
It still is.
We haven't seen anything this big.
I mean, as far as a big-time relevant celebrity passing away, he's the biggest in a long, long time.
Like since Princess Di.
Yeah. It's certainly up there with that. Somebody equated it to like their John Kennedy moment, and I was like, I don't know, that's almost a little too steep for me.
Yeah.
The international ramifications of that were a little bit different. It certainly is one of those I will remember kind of deals. It was shock. The shock of it, just seeing on Twitter. Yeah, initially, you're like, what?
The stuff around his daughter makes me the saddest. And also one of the families that was lost in there was a mother, daughter, and child. And they have 2 other kids who weren't on there. So I feel horrible for those children. And the other piece, too, to that is that's kind of coming out is Kobe and his wife, Vanessa, agreed that they would never fly together. Oh, I didn't see that.
I had read that today. So that was interesting. But he had used this method of transportation in and out of L.A. for years.
Yeah, as a way to beat LA traffic so he could do stuff with his family with greater ease.
Yeah.
There's a lot of trouble coming out of this. The reporting on this was top to bottom garbage.
Yeah.
TMZ reported it before the police had time to notify the families. So that's how people are finding out.
Yes.
Versus through proper channels. Then ABC puts out a report, because at first it's 5 people before we get up to 9. They're saying the other...
It was all Kobe and all of his daughters.
Yeah. So there's that story. And then there's a story that Rick Fox was on the helicopter.
No, he was not. He was in the Bahamas, I believe.
He was on, and I would highly recommend watching a lot of what was put out last night. The Lakers postponed a game with the Clippers.
Yeah.
So TNT instead last night, they essentially did a wake for Kobe.
Yes.
That went on for whole hour of pregame for the Celtics, and then like still at halftime, and then their postgame was all just kind of this wake for Kobe. And I'd recommend watching a lot of that stuff, especially the stuff.
Shaq did a really good job.
Shaq was the biggie. I mean, he opened it, and I mean, he was like openly crying on TV.
Well, he and Kobe had a feud for a while.
Oh yeah, I mean, like I said, I was a big Shaq fan back in the day, and I mean, the two of them just sniping at each other in the media was such a big thing.
Yes.
Even for years. Like not maybe like 2006 it dies down a bit, but
the influence that he had on the modern game too. You know, he was really, the torch was passed from Jordan to him, and he kind of passed the torch on to LeBron a little bit.
Yeah, literally the night before LeBron passes him in all-time scoring.
Yeah.
So it is this weird passing of the torch moment.
Well, that passing of the torch happened when Kobe retired.
I mean, there's part of that. Yeah, I mean, for a while, Kobe was the best in the league. I mean, when he started, it was Jordan, and then it was him for a good long while, and then eventually it was LeBron, but it's not like that was like the day LeBron started.
No, it wasn't.
But Kobe was the best in the league for years.
Oh, it's going to be something that the echoes and the reverberations of that will go on for some time.
We're still feeling it. I know I'm going to watch the Lakers game on Friday night just because I want to see what they do. I definitely recommend watching the TNT stuff. I think there's been a lot that's come out, but I think this stuff that they put out was really powerful. Shaq, I think the guys that knew him definitely put out the best stuff. Like Shaq's stuff is really good. Jerry West's stuff is really good. I was literally talking to my wife like when this whole thing started, and they had Dwayne Wade on. I was like, I'm not against Dwayne Wade being here, but why is it Dwayne Wade? Like if it was Shaq being eulogized, I'd get it.
Yeah.
It's because he's has his own thing going on at TNT now is the real answer.
Oh, okay.
But when it started off, I was like, the guys I want to see are Rick Fox and Derek Fisher. And I didn't know that like 3.5 hours later, those were going to be the guys they were going to bring out. Just like, oh my God. So just seeing like those players from those championship years like all together and just being like laughing and crying and just being kind of broken, it was pretty powerful stuff to watch.
Yes. I'm kind of waiting to see what Phil Jackson's gonna.
I haven't seen anything from him yet. I don't know if he has.
Yeah, he might not even, or it might be sometime.
Yeah, Phil Jackson. I mean, he's kind of stepped away from
the public light. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm sure he's gonna put something out.
Yes.
I would bet money he's gonna be at Staples Center on Friday.
Maybe not. Maybe, I mean, he's very careful about not making it about him too. So we'll see.
I don't think it would be.
Well,
I mean, I'd like to see people that those guys that all shared that stuff together, like that kind of like highlight of like their professional career, like be together and mourn in that way.
Yes.
But yeah, I don't know. The whole thing is, like I said, I'm still kind of reconciling my feelings with it because it's strangely affecting me more than I ever would have guessed. I mean, I'm not like Shaq where I'm like, I'm not eating, I'm not sleeping, but it's definitely like kind of emotionally gotten to me way more than I thought it would.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. He's a big part of your entertainment and your escape.
Yeah.
And you associate with those people. You don't know them. They couldn't pick you out of a lineup, but you feel you have a connection with them.
Well, for as much as I enjoy basketball, I was thinking, it was like, I don't know if I'm ever going to, because it's partially tainted by like nostalgic lenses. Like, I don't know if I'm going to enjoy watching basketball as much as when I was watching Shaq and Kobe be that kind of 1-2 duo.
Yeah.
I was thinking, one of my kind of favorite basketball memories is I was in a school trip. We went up to Quebec, and I was sharing a room with 3 other guys, and Lakers were in the finals, or this time it was the playoffs. But I really wanted to watch the playoff games, and no one else wanted to. They all wanted to go to bed. So I have the TV on with the volume as low as
Did you have the
humanly
blanket under the door like you did when you were a young child?
No, it's just sitting at the edge of the bed. But it was also the night of the Derek Fisher 0.4 second shot. So I was just like cheering, but without being able to cheer, like, oh my God. They all run off the court. But I used to love watching that stuff. I don't know. So yeah, that's kind of the big story of the week.
Yeah, that kind of overshadows the Super Bowl a little bit.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't really care about who wins this one at all.
I just want a good game. That's all I want.
Yeah, I'll be fine seeing some cool stuff.
We'll talk about it.
I'll settle for cool stuff.
We'll talk about it next week, but here's your pick. I'm going to pick the 49ers to beat the Chiefs in a high-scoring game.
I don't know if it's going to be high-scoring, but yeah, I think 49ers are probably the more likely.
There you go. All right, you heard it here first.
You probably heard that opinion from...
You heard it here first.
At least half the country.
Whatever. All right, that's it for Jared Sports Reports.
Nothing else happened worth mentioning?
Not that I can think of.
That's fine. Yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, I feel terrible for all the families involved in this.
Yes.
That's the worst. I mean, that's when I get actually choked. Whenever they keep showing Gianna, that's when I kind of get choked up. It was even horrible watching his 60-point game because she was there watching the game. So you just see her when she's just a few years younger than she is now. No, it's tough to watch.
Yeah, it's really sad. Really, really sad and tragic.
Well, this is usually a fun show, so there's that.
Let's make it fun again.
Yeah, let's do that. We've been waiting for this for 18 years. Let's move on to our review of Picard.
I'm the best there is at what I do. But what I do best isn't very nice.
It's time for an Editor's Note podcast review.
Here's what I'm disappointed about.
What?
When they launched Discovery, they gave us 2 episodes.
Yeah.
They didn't do that this time.
I want more Picard.
I know. I can't wait for tomorrow morning. I'm going to get up and watch it.
What time does it come out? Midnight?
I think it comes out at 3 a.m. here.
That sucks.
Because it comes out at midnight on the West Coast. So I'll get up in the morning and I'll watch it like I did last week. I'll put on some tea. Because as I'm told...
Earl Grey?
Yeah.
Decaf?
No. You know what I saw come up online that blew my mind?
What?
Apparently he only said that 7 times in the show.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, is that it? Wild.
Wow. Yeah, I felt like it was more.
Yeah, definitely. I also didn't double check that fact. It just kind of feels like a weird thing to
7
put out
years.
if it wasn't
That's once a
true.
year.
Yeah, but still. I think we saw him with Timor, and maybe he just didn't order it that much. Maybe,
yes.
Maybe the replicator effect cost money.
Yes, it most certainly did cost money.
We're just going to talk about it. I'm not really worried about non-spoilers and spoilers for this one. You're either into it or you're not. And there's also, this is 1 episode of 10, and most of the stuff was already kind of, there were some surprises in there, but most of this was set up in the trailers and stuff anyway.
Yeah, I liked it. I really, really liked it. I liked that they did a good job of setting the scene. They didn't have to do a lot of exposition, and the way they did the exposition, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, that first shot's a killer.
Oh my gosh, yes.
You just see the Enterprise D, is like, oh my God, it looks so gorgeous. This whole show looks I was really struck by that.
Well shot, and
this show looks better than any of the movies ever did. That's how far TV has come.
I like that the opening scene, we kept thinking maybe he's in the in a holosuite or something.
I thought it was Dream.
I like that it was a dream.
But yeah, I mean, seeing Brent Spiner back, they have definitely already planted the seed of, look, he's coming back.
Yes.
They planted that seed pretty hard. I mean, that was a great scene, and I love that the show ends on them playing poker, and it starts with him playing poker.
Yes. 10 forward, looking good.
Yeah, it looks. Boy, they recreated that set. That looks great. I'm not sure how much of that was recreation and how much of it's just like them on a green screen. Probably a lot.
I don't know.
If they're just gonna, I don't know. But man, it looks so good, and the Enterprise looked so good.
I love that they held true to some things that happened from the J.J. Abrams stuff, and it was
there's a nice
taking place in the prime timeline.
There's a nice mix of stuff going from. Really, if you're going to watch the show, you need to have seen the season 2 episode Measure of a Man, and you need to have seen the 2009 Star Trek movie.
Yes.
And those are kind of your two key viewing things, because boy, they build off Measure of a Man like no other.
I don't yes and no.
I mean, they bring up Bruce Maddox, the guy who was trying
Yeah, but I don't know how much they build off of that other than they outlawed synthetics.
Yeah, but we know that he's been doing stuff. The trailers have shown that we're going to see more of them.
And we know that
he's got to come back.
He had worked with Data.
Yeah,
after the fact.
He's got to. He hasn't been announced, but dollars to donuts, he's coming back.
Yes.
Say there's no way he isn't. They don't. What's the point of name dropping him 17 times if he's not coming back?
Oh, he's back.
Yeah, definitely. But I like the idea. It's like this guy's still out there screwing things up.
I don't know if he's screwing it up though. I mean, he made
life that destroyed Mars, which, as we'll find out in a prequel comic that we'll check out next week, maybe one of the crew of the Enterprise was on at the time.
Ooh.
Yeah, unclear yet.
We'll find out.
I'm sure at some point. It'd be also really sad if they just killed one of them unceremoniously off screen.
Oh, that would... Shut up, Wesley.
It's not Wesley.
Is it Worf?
It's Geordi.
Oh, it's always Geordi.
I know. It's always getting kidnapped or blown up on Mars.
Yeah, I mean, all the bad stuff happens because of Geordi getting kidnapped and his visor.
Yeah, that visor was no good.
No, it wasn't.
I think the character stays very true to Picard, and I can see how he got from where he was to where he is, and how he's kind of been broken by it, and how he felt like he needed to, after quitting Starfleet, go back.
Yes.
And I like that he has the 2 Romulan refugees with him, working with him at his house.
I call them the Romulan manservant.
I like them both, though. They're fun.
Yes.
I mean, we've already talked about his dog being number 1.
Who, by the way, has a set on him.
Yes, the dog has balls. Thank you.
Big ones.
Thank you for noticing the dog balls.
Saucer separation.
Jesus.
His battle bridge.
Great. That's what the people are here for.
Yeah, his photon torpedoes. Fully operational.
There's a couple of twists at the end that I wasn't expecting. So, minor spoiler, because it will affect episode 1 if you haven't seen it, but this girl goes to Picard and she's like, I feel like I need to be with you. And it turns out it's Data's daughter in some way. He already tried to make one.
Yeah,
but then they kill her. I was like, oh, I wasn't expecting that.
No, I wasn't either.
And then they're like, there's another one.
Yes.
But that was kind of a shock. The idea of the Romulans being moved now that their planet's blown up, I knew, just because from what we've seen in the trailers, when they're pulling out, what could it be? I'm like, it's a Borg cube.
Oh, yeah, we knew it was a Borg cube.
Yeah.
But the fact that the Borg cube is now a Romulan refugee house.
Yeah, that's so weird.
But I'm going to make a prediction. The Romulan talking to the other twin
is evil.
Well, no, not just evil, but he's related to Nero.
Possibly, because he talked about having a brother. So
yes.
I think that's a definite possibility.
We get Riker. Also, one of the
We didn't get Riker.
No, we're gonna get Riker. I bet in the next episode.
I bet he's not gonna. Maybe
or a couple more episodes away.
I feel like he's gonna be towards the latter half.
Interesting though, they're doing the flash cuts of the trailer, the next part of there's somebody laying down with a beard, and I can't tell if it was Riker or if it was the manservant.
I don't know. I'd have to go back and look at it. Yeah, because the end of it does kind of give a whole new trailer for the season. I was going to watch it anyway.
Yeah, but
thanks for the footage.
Now that you've paid your $9.99 a month.
Is that much?
I can't remember. I paid the full year subscription. I said, screw it.
We got it on a student discount.
Ooh, how did you do that?
Because my wife's a student.
Oh, I should be a student. I'm a student at the School of Hard Knocks.
What else happened in this? I did like how they laid out the information. I had to go back and watch it a second time just to make sure that I got it all about what happened on Mars. Also, my favorite part of this is there's one scene where Picard has to run. Every time he's running, you're just seeing the back of his head because that is a stunt man.
Well, how old is his character in this? Is 91, isn't it?
He's supposed to be 90. In reality, Patrick Stewart's in his 70s.
Yeah.
But either way, every time you see him running, it's either a shot from directly above or from behind, because there's no way Patrick Stewart was running. And then they show him getting thrown back 40 feet by an explosion. I'm like, oh, he's dead.
But he survived.
Yeah, somehow.
And they transported him back from Starfleet to France.
I like the new cast from what we've seen. I know we're going to meet more of them, but I know the doctor that we meet at the Institute of whatever the hell.
The Daystrom Institute?
Yes. Yeah, that's been mentioned in many Star Treks many times.
Yes.
So... And I liked the girl who was playing Data's daughter.
Daj.
Is that the new one or the old one?
The old one.
The new one, Taj?
Taj.
I don't know.
I can't remember.
I don't know if we have her name yet. I don't remember. But I mean, I actually I'm more excited about the new cast than I thought I was going to be, which is a nice surprise. Because, I mean, a lot of what I want is just I'm not looking for a carbon copy of Next Generation. I do want to see them all go on one last ride, though. Just give me one episode.
Maybe not.
Give me one episode where it's just one last time.
I don't know if I want that.
I do so bad.
Okay. You can have it if you want.
I don't know if I can have it.
Well, you can dream about it.
I can have cheeseburger. Yeah, I'm surprisingly kind of on board for them. I don't know. I was really impressed with how the show looked. Like, what Star Trek's this weird thing that you, more than almost anything else in kind of pop culture history, you can look at the visuals just to see where we're at technology-wise. Like, going through the 60s and the 80s and the 2000s. And now, like, you can see, like, this insane evolution of just where we are now and what we can do. Just on TV. And I already said it, but it looks better than the movies.
Oh, yeah. Way better than the movies.
Crazy. Like, it's on par with this, the reboot series. They look as good as that. Can you imagine that world where TV looks that good?
Yeah.
I can, because I saw it.
It's true. It was there.
It's nice to be, like, pleasantly surprised.
Yes.
And not be disappointed by it. Like, I was so hyped for this that it would have been so easy to, like, fall under expectations and just kind of break my heart a little bit.
No, this met expectations.
Yeah, totally. It was so exciting to watch, and I can't wait to get up tomorrow morning and just start my day with it.
Yes.
Watch episode 2 and whatever, twists and turns there are, and however we see this broken version of Picard get back to someone closer to what we know.
Mm-hmm.
I also like how it just took away the end of Star Trek Nemesis.
Yes.
We're like, maybe B4 will turn into Data.
No.
Like, no. He's an idiot.
Yeah. He sucks. Why is the captain piloting the vehicle at unsafe speeds?
Because they felt they needed to have an action scene that's not relevant to the plot at all. And
Nope.
That's one of the most pointless scenes in that movie.
Not as pointless as the time they're flying through the sky and singing from HMS Pimminator.
Hey, love that scene.
No, boo. Boo.
Sideshow Bob can sing it, so can Worf.
I protest. I am not a merry man.
But I think that's probably it for Picard. It was a great...
Yeah, it's a must-see.
Yeah, definitely. It was funny. I was clicking around CBS All Access. I'm like, boy, you guys don't have a lot. And then I got to Star Trek. I'm like, yay, all of it. But it's still like, I think it's still all on Netflix anyway. Oh, also checking out the short treks. I haven't seen them all yet, but those are cool. They connected Discovery. I think there's one for Picard as well. I haven't watched it yet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Extra free Trek content. I'll take it.
No, not... Yeah, absolutely.
All right. That's probably that.
Oh, letters to the editors?
Lot of questions, number one. Damn few answers.
Here's another one of your letters to the editors.
Make it so.
All right. This one wasn't a specific letter, but if you want to write us in letters, especially for the 200th, editorsnotecomics@gmail.com. This I'm kind of spinning out of a conversation that I had today. So shout out to my conversation haver. With companies like IDW losing $26 million in a year, and also just stores closing left and right.
Like the one in Hollowell?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm now part of a statistic, thank God. Just what I always wanted to be.
Well, I mean, there are worse statistics to be.
What is the future of the industry?
Digital.
There's a world where that's a big part of it. Think about comics as there's always, unlike, I feel like a lot of other things, I feel like vinyl will always exist because there's collectors of vinyl. Whether or not it's a dead technology, it is. Deal with it.
Yeah.
But comics will always have that collectability aspect that's been so long standing. Like, there have been things that have been collectible that have kind of like died off, like tapes or VHS or baseball cards, even because Wikipedia tells you all the information you need.
Yeah, but there's still things that are out there worth, like Pokemon cards. Magic the Gathering cards are still big, by the way.
Yeah, they are. I do think the answer is partially digital, but I do think we are kind of entering a realm of the snake eating its own tail as far as the industry goes. I mean, we all have to work out of one distributor, and I'm not sure who controls the discount percentages. I think it's all based on company by company, but for smaller stores, it's not great. So no one's making a break to have stores be able to grow. And then you have big online companies like DBCS or whatever the hell they are who are ordering things in so much bulk that they can sell things for cheaper than I can even buy them. And I don't know what the overall strategy for getting young readers to sustain the industry is in. I mean, the most money I make off of is people over the age of like 45.
Yeah.
Those are the people with disposable income, and most of them seem to be interested in, this is not everyone, I'm just making generalizations from what I've seen. there's a lot of interest in stuff from the past and not as much interest in the stuff of today. And I don't know how much young readers are coming in because most of these people can just pirate stuff.
Nostalgia is big.
Yeah, and people just... I've had this happen multiple times. People will come in and they'll be like, oh, they'll just tell me up front, like, I was pirating things, but I'd like to shop here with you now. And then they disappear in a month because they realize what they're spending and just know they can get it for free on the internet. So I don't know. I don't think enough is being done to support smaller shops, and it might just turn into the big ones and online services. But I also don't know I don't know if enough is being done to bring in young readers. DC is doing a push for that, like with their like DC Superhero Girls, and they were pushing some younger age stuff too. But
do you think maybe some of it too, like Marvel thought that the movies might kickstart people's interest in comics, but people are like, no, I have the movie, I don't need the comic.
I've said this many times on the show before. The problem is the movie has to be really good.
Yeah.
If it's even an okay movie, not even a bad movie, if it's just good to pretty good, it doesn't move the needle. It has to be great for people to actually come in or be culturally relevant in some way or form. Captain Marvel, even though earlier in the show I said it was kind of boring, it still was a cultural event.
But I think,
and it got people in. Black Panther got people in.
Do you think Marvel sees that this is a more viable way to make a lot more cash?
I don't think they're like DC and Marvel. I don't think are ever going to go away because they're owned by parent companies. I mean, they might just leave the whole distribution process altogether at one point and do their own thing.
Yeah, but I mean, they're making way more money making movies than selling comics.
I think the comics at this point are probably more than anything just a testing ground for stories to see what could be a successful movie. Like you literally just have entire wings of your company pumping out stories as fast as they can and throwing it all against the wall and seeing what sticks. There's plenty of stories involved in the Marvel movies that hadn't started when the actual universe kicked off. A lot of those stories are just that new.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think there's going to be enough bad that happens, despite the fact, and people will always, if you have people like pointing their fingers and saying like comics are dying, then you'll have other people pointing at the fact that, and we go over this when we kind of look at monthly sales, that things generally are inching up incrementally. But there is also a slew of businesses closing and companies losing mass amounts of money, and I don't really know what the future is. I think Marvel is especially pretty secure because, as I mentioned before, they give the best discounts.
Yeah.
So it's easier to order Marvel books. Like, okay, well, I'm going to make more for my money than I am on other companies, so I'm going to order more Marvel stuff. And I don't know if Marvel is necessarily the leader every month because they're putting out the best stuff, but because they give the best deals.
It could be very well that.
I don't know. I think some bad stuff is going to happen. I think a lot more businesses are probably going to go under, and I think we're going to see publishers get into some big trouble as well, ones that don't have parent companies, and I think that enough bad is going to have to happen for there to be some kind of change in the market.
A reckoning.
I mean, just having one distributor, that's a result of just everyone like crashing and burning. I don't think we're going to see another crash like that where like Marvel's filing for bankruptcy, like not that level of a crash, but I think we're going to see the industry is going to have to change.
Yeah.
And I don't know what that looks like, but I can certainly point to the warning signs of what's not going to work. Mostly because I've had to live with them for 5 years. This
is true.
I don't know. I think something needs to change because I don't think this is working.
No.
And again, now you'll have people be like, well, sales are up. Like it's big companies are going up, but there is also a threat of variety, and not that like, big companies can't put out creative and different books, but the more voices you have putting out different kind of things, the better you are.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't think, my take is I don't feel very positive about the outlook over the next 10 years, but I think there will be a change that happens on some kind of big scale that will kind of have to refresh how things are done, because this has only really been done this way since like early 90s. So yeah, I think it's time for another big change, or things are going to keep going in the same direction they are.
Yeah, they adapt or die. If you're not growing, you're dying.
Yes, that's something that someone has said sometime.
Yes, there you go. That's my 2 cents.
I don't know. I think I don't think it's good right now, but things could change.
Yeah,
and I hope they do.
Yes, for the sake of the art.
Yeah, I mean, the old stuff will always be there, which is nice, and that's where a lot of the money is anyway. The secondary market for old stuff.
Moolah.
Yeah. That's it for this week. I feel like we had a bunch of dire topics this week.
Yeah, this was a very down
Hopefully
episode.
the Star Trek stuff was fun.
Well, how about this? If you like the show, why don't you go to patreon.com/editorsnotecomics? $1 a month gets you the show a whole day early. Plus, you get spoiler and spoiler-free reviews of Buffy, Angel, and Firefly.
Yeah. Next week, we're going to be doing, speaking of IDW, go buy this book because I liked it a lot. They did a official prequel series to Picard that we're going to tackle next week.
I like it.
Yeah, it's fun. It's 3 solid issues. I think it's really good. You should probably pick it up. Spoiler for next week.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
There you go.
And you're on Twitter.
I'm on Twitter @JuniorRich. By the way, visit Zach while you still can, 210 Water Street in Hollowell, and he's online, editorsnotecomics.com, and the social medias.
Yeah, and also I'm saying I'm closing the 22nd, but if something comes up before then I'm closing earlier than that. So I would take that as a pretty solid day, but I wouldn't say it's 100.
Where somebody walks in the door and is like, here's $10,000, Zach.
I'll take it.
And the store is closed.
Yes.
All right, that's it for this week.
I don't think that option's going to happen, but yeah.
Probably not. One can dream.
Yeah, come on in. Basically, everything's on sale.
Stay classy, Space Cats.
Ah, I guess that's the end then. And that's how you announce the end. All right, we'll be back.
Well, I mean, did you have anything else to say?
Not really.
Then there you go. Stay classy, Space Cats.
Bye.